The Ghost in the Attitude. When I was a child, I lived with my grandmother in an old wooden house in the countryside of Hau Giang. The house was precariously located on the bank of a canal. Behind it was a dense banana garden. In front was a deserted red dirt road. At night, the flickering lights only showed darkness and the sound of crickets chirping. The house had a small attic where my grandfather used to store rice, but since he passed away, no one went up there anymore. My grandmother strictly forbade it, telling me over and over again, "At night, if you hear anything up there, don't go up there. Remember?" I was only about 11 or 12 years old at that time. I didn't understand why, but I didn't dare ask too much. Until one rainy night that year, I was lying in my mosquito net when I heard a clacking sound on the ceiling. At first I thought it was a mouse, but the sound got clearer and clearer. Footsteps, slowly, squeaking as if someone was walking with wet, bare feet. I sat up. There was only me and my grandmother in the house. She slept on the other side of the bed, her back to me. I called softly, "Grandma." There was no answer, but from the attic, I clearly heard a dragging sound, the sound of something heavy being dragged away. I shivered, about to crawl into the mosquito net and cover my head, when I heard a voice calling down, "Open the door! Open the door for me!" It was a man's voice, hoarse, slurring each word. I cried out. My grandmother jumped up, pulled me into her arms, took the rosary from the cupboard with trembling hands, and chanted sutras. That night, the two of us could not sleep. The next morning, my grandmother decided to tell me everything. "You're grown up now. I can't hide it anymore. Years ago, your grandfather was a soldier, shot dead at the border. They brought his body back, but only half of his body. The lower part was missing. I was so heartbroken that I buried the remaining body in the garden right under the attic. But from then on, every year, on the exact day he died, your grandfather would come back to look for the other half." I was terrified. My grandmother added, "I've made offerings, performed all kinds of prayers, but your grandfather still hasn't passed on. Because the remaining body seems like it wasn't lost, but someone hid it." The next night, I heard footsteps in the attic again, but this time it wasn't just one person, it was two. One was slow and heavy. The other was limping, as if dragging an incomplete body to find itself. The attic door creaked softly. Someone was standing on the edge of the stairs. I closed my eyes tightly. But in my subconscious, I saw a short shadow, only half of its upper body remaining, crawling down, dragging blood from the stairs all the way to my bed.